Hello, this is a quick interjection from me just to say that the video that we uploaded earlier this evening was perfect, except that the rules on the right hand side of it were from yesterday's puzzle, so I'm re-uploading it now, which means the algorithm will absolutely slate this video, but this is a beautiful puzzle. So please, if you're watching this video after about 9:30 p.m. UK time, please like it, please leave it a nice comment, because this is a wonderful puzzle that deserves to be shared really widely. And as a bonus, I have some extra information that I didn't have when I recorded the video this afternoon, which is that we have a treat for you coming up on the channel. We'll probably release it on Wednesday morning UK time, but we have a video from Clover, the wonderful setter. I'm sure many of you are familiar with her works, especially if you do the gas puzzles on Discord. Well, Clover has made a reaction video to my recent attempt at her puzzle called Everest, and it's really interesting because she talks about how she thought about the logic for the break-in versus how I thought about the logic for the break-in. Her way is more elegant, so that's something to look forward to, and that'll appear in a couple of days' time. Okay, back to the real video. Hello and welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where today we've got a debut on the channel for Zegres with a puzzle called Parity Balance. Now this has got a fascinating rule set, and the testing reports are that this is something quite magnificent, so I am really actually quite pumped to have a go at this one, and I'll read you the rules in just a moment. Actually, I want to start today's video with a quiz. I saw this on TikTok. I spent so much time just getting lost in TikTok. It's quite ridiculous. Anyway, the quiz. Right, so you can see the picture here. What you've got to do is add a single line to this diagram to make 200. Okay, I'll give you till the end of the introduction to try and work out how to do that. So have a look at that there. Anyway, so you've got to make 200. Have a think. You'll enjoy the answer if you've not seen it before. I think about 4 million people on TikTok have seen it before, but I guess our overlap with the audience isn't exactly at 100%. Now, what else did I want to mention? Tomorrow night, Mark and I are returning to the good ship Oberdin. In fact, there's nothing good about that ship. It is a place of great horror. But yeah, we're going to be attempting to figure out some more murders. 10 o'clock UK time. We'd love to have your company. And the only other thing to mention is, of course, Patreon, where we've got a whole heap of bonus goodies at the moment. We've got Panthera and the Asylum's Japanese Sum Sudoku Hunt, which is being received incredibly well, as you'd expect. And you've still got 12 days to send us the answer, which is the password to the degree certificate. So if you manage to work your way all through the years of school and get your degree in Japanese Sum Sudoku, then send us the password to be eligible to win a prize. Yeah, and there's other things as well. Mark's uploading a crossword video today, and there's my solve of this beautiful puzzle, which is Zeta Math's 2 Truths and a Lie. That's definitely worth having a look at. Do try that puzzle as well, of course, before you watch the video. And you can try that puzzle by clicking a link under this video. Now I have to tell you the answer to the quiz, don't I? Right, so you've got to add one line to this diagram and make 200. I'm going to show you the line now. There you go, 200. Did it get you? It's good, isn't it? I really like that. I really like it. It just plays with your head. Anyway, I hope some of you enjoyed that. Now, parity balance. Let's get on with this. What are the rules? Normal Sudoku rules apply. Cells containing a grey circle must contain an odd digit. Cells containing a grey square must contain an even digit. Now, here's the really cool bit of the rules. In cages, the sum of the even digits equals the sum of the odd digits, and digits cannot repeat within a cage. That is quite fascinating. So when we add, let's look at this cage here, when we add the even digits in it to its odd digits, well, no, let's express that differently. When we would deduct the odd digits from the even digits, we should get 0, and they should add up to the same number. So that is instantly interesting. In fact, I'm just thinking about that. Hang on a minute. I've just noticed something about these cages which I hadn't realised, and I'll tell you that when I start solving it. So do have a go at this. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. Now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now what I've just realised is that because the sum of this cage, well, the even digits in this cage, whatever they add up to, let's call that x. It's an even number, so it's divisible by 2. So we could express x as being 2 times y. Now that means that the odd digits in this cage also sum to 2y, and that means that this cage overall sums to 4y, which is divisible by 4. So every single cage in this puzzle, we can say at the start, if we summed all its digits, it's going to be divisible by 4. And that strikes me as possibly useful, given that we have a dearth of information in terms of what on earth we're meant to do here. So in each cage, the sum of the odd digits is equal to... So each cage has got odd digits in it, because you can't ever make a cage sum to 0. And each cage, of course, therefore, once we worked out that there's an odd digit in a cage, we know it's not one odd digit, because if it's only one odd digit, the sum of the odd digits is odd, and we can't make even digits sum to an odd digit no matter how hard we try. So there is always, therefore, an even number of odd digits in each cage. And that makes me think that we're going to start with the smaller cages here, because those cages are definitely made up of 2 odd digits and 1 even digit. And that one's the same, look. No, forgive me, I thought that would be the most likely place to start, but now I'm actually I'm wondering if it's Ard van der Wetering's trick, to be honest, because I can see that pattern and this pattern being drawn out in the grid, which is always a bit redolent of Ard's magical set theory break-in. Maybe... I don't want to rush to that, to be honest. That's a bit daunting, because I'm not even sure how that could be relevant. Perhaps what we have to do is to think about that's a 7-cell cage. So if this was a 9-cell cage, because of the secret, we would know it would add up to 45. Ah, right, I have a little deduction. Okay. I don't think it's a useful deduction, but it's a deduction nevertheless. I'm going to tell you what it is. Yeah, if this was a 9-cell cage, because digits cannot repeat within a cage, it would add up to 45, because that's the sum of the digits 1 to 9. That's, of course, the secret we only tell our special friends on the channel. Now, why do I think that's interesting? Well, because if you sum all of the even digits from 1 to 9, you're summing 2, 4, 6 and 8, which is 20. If you sum all the odd digits, therefore you're getting 25, which is indeed the sum of 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. But we know that the 2 digits that must be removed from a 7-cell cage, therefore, we have to eliminate that difference of 5 between the odd digits and the even digits. So the odd digits are 25, the even digits are 20, but when we add this cage up, the sum of its odd digits and even digits is the same. Do we know how many odd digits? Is it 4 odd digits that we must have in here? If it's not 4 odd, well, it's not 6 odd digits, is it? And if it would, no, and it's not 2 odd digits, because if it was 2 odd digits, this cage would have 5 even digits, and there aren't 5 even digits available. So it has 4 odd digits in it. We don't know where they go, and 3 even digits. So it's missing an odd and an even digit, and the difference between the odd digit and the even digit must be equal to 5. So it's either missing 7 and 2, or it's missing 9 and 4. There we go, there's a deduction. It's a really beautiful deduction that does nothing. Oh dear. Good. How do you start this puzzle? Is it hard? Is that where we've got to go? There's nothing we can do with the secret here, is there? And a 4-cell cage. That's got to have 2 odds. Oh! Ah, right. Okay, I've got this digit. That's beautiful, actually. That's such a simple deduction. But, well, as you can see, it's taken me 10 minutes to find it. But let us consider the nature of a 4-cell cage in this puzzle. We know it can't have 0 odd digits. And we know because the odd and the even digits have to equate to one another, the odd digits add to an even number. So there are an even number of them. So there are 2 odd digits in this cage. There can't be 4 because obviously if you add 4 odd digits up and 0 even digits, you won't get to a sensible result. So there are 2 odd digits in this cage and 2 even digits. But that means in this cage there are also 2 odds and 2 evens. That means in this loop there are 4 even digits, and we know what they are: 2, 4, 6 and 8. So that means the odd digits must also add up to 20. In other words, this cage, or these 2 cages, sum to 40. The secret is that the whole box sums to 45, so that is a 5. That is lovely. That is a hard one. That's a hard 1 digit, isn't it, as well? So now we know that's odd and not 5. So now we can't put 8 and 6 in the same cage anymore, because if we did, the odd digits would have to add up to 14, and there's no way of doing that when the 5 isn't available. So the 8 and the 6 are in different boxes. No, I don't think that's resolvable. Well, it's certain, and certainly it's not. It's just not impacting. I think we are going to have to look at ARD. I'm a bit reluctant to do this though without at least thinking about why ARD is relevant first, because I have not got a clue. So let me explain the consequence. I won't prove this unless I can see why it's relevant, but it is possible to prove that these 25 cells at the top, in the top left of the grid, have the same, well, are the sum of these 16 cells plus 45. It's also possible to show that in fact the digits in here are the exact same digits as in here, plus a complete set of the digits 1 to 9. Now what we might do here, because these cages are entirely within a box, look, we could actually remove this set of digits from here and this set of digits from here, and what we just said would still be true. So now we know that the blue cells are exactly equal to whatever we put in the orange cells, plus a set of the digits 1 to 9 extra in blue. We know that this has the odds and the evens in here are equal. Well, are exactly equal. Okay, so we know that the odds and the evens in here differ by 5. The odd numbers in this collection of digits must be 5 greater than the evens in this collection of digits, and we know that because, yeah, okay, right, I've convinced myself we need to look at this properly. So I'm just going to quickly prove it for anybody who's new to the channel, and we like to do this on Cracking the Cryptic because everybody's new once upon a time, and if we just jumped into some of this mad logic, it would make the videos less accessible for newcomers. So what on earth am I doing here? Well, let me show you. Firstly, I want to highlight the first 5 rows of the grid in blue. Now, I don't know where the digits go in the blue region, but I can describe the contents of the blue region absolutely precisely. And that's from the rules of Sudoku. I know a correct solution to this puzzle will have a row 1 that contains all of the digits 1 to 9 once each. So 5 complete rows of the puzzle are 5 sets of the digits 1 to 9. Now I want to imagine that I've collected all those digits up and I've put them in a sack, and I'm holding the sack here. This is a sack of these digits, okay? Now I'm going to highlight a different set of digits. I'm going to highlight the final 4 columns of the grid in orange. Now my orange digits, which I'm going to put in this sack here, are exactly equal to 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9, because this is 4 complete columns. Now I want to look at that digit. Let's imagine that digit is a 6. And let's say I took the 6 out of my blue sack, and I took the 6 out of my orange sack, and I threw the 6s away. Hopefully it's clear to everybody that the blue sack and the orange sack would still contain the exact same digits after that, because of course they're well, not the exact same digits, I apologise, I've just misled people. Obviously there is an extra set of the digits 1 to 9 in blue. So the blue sack is slightly heavier than my orange sack by 1 set of the digits 1 to 9. So when I take this 6 out of both sacks, the blue set is still heavier than the orange sack by exactly the same. In other words, the blue sack and the orange sack contain the exact same digits, except the blue sack also has an extra set of the digits 1 to 9 after I take this out. But that logic applies to any cell that is in both sacks. So I can remove all of these cells from both sacks. And that's where we start to reach the conclusion that we saw a few seconds ago in the video. So now we've got a situation where the blue cells, or what's remaining in the blue sack, is still equal to what's in the orange sack plus 1 set of the digits 1 to 9, but obviously we've got a lot less digits now in the blue sack and the orange sack. Now I'm going to take the same digits out again from blue and orange, because this is a complete set of the digits 1 to 9, this is a complete set of the digits 1 to 9. And this is where we were up to, where I was just trying to count the parity implications of this parity balancing rule. So in here, I now know that the blue squares are exactly equal to the orange squares plus a set of the digits 1 to 9. Now a set of the digits 1 to 9 includes 5 odd digits that sum to 25 and 4 even digits that sum to 20. So the overall sum of odd digits in this blue region is 5 greater than its overall sum of even digits, because it's equal to this, where the sum of the evens and the odds are equal, plus a complete set of the digits 1 to 9, where the odds are 5 greater than the evens. Right, okay, but therefore those two regions there also have equal number. The odds and the evens in these sets are equal to one another. So actually, if we remove those out, we know that these 6 cells contain digits where the odd digits within this collection of 6 cells is 5 greater than the even digits. And that's not very interesting, is it? It would be very interesting if that was the only even digit. But why would these have to be odd? So we've got to... Ooh, I don't know. Do we know? I suppose we do know, actually. I can get some sort of count on the odds and the even digits here, because I know... Yeah, I know how many odd digits there are in the orange, don't I? Because we looked at this a few minutes ago. There are 4 odd digits in orange. So that means in blue, overall, there are those 4 orange digits, which must appear in blue, and then there's the odd digits from the digits 1 to 9, so there's another 5 orange odd digits on top of that. So blue overall contains 9 odd digits. 9 odd digits. How many are there in there? Right. I've done it. Right, I've done it. Right. This is absolutely brilliant. Right. How many odd digits are there in those 2 regions? Well, let's look at them individually. They're both 5-cell regions, and we know they must have an even number of odd digits in each of them. So this can't have 4 odd digits in it, because then the minimum number of 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 is 6. Well, it's equal to 16. You can't put 16 as your even digit in here. So this has got 2 odd digits in it. This has got 2 odd digits in it, which means that there are 5 odd digits in the blue region that are not in these cells, and they must be there because this is even. So they are 5 odd digits. So I've messed up a bit with my colouring here. I'm just going to label them a different colour. These are 5 odd digits, and they must add up to 5 more than that square, which is the only even digit. So if that's an 8, these would have to be 13. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. If I minimise the purple digits, absolutely minimise them with 1, 3 and 5, with the 5 here, that's the only way this will work. If I put the 5 there, then I've got 13 here. That's the absolute minimum I could make these cells, because they all have to be odd. That square therefore can be 8, and the difference between the purples and the 8 is 5, which we know must be the difference because of the parity balancing. That is stupendously brilliant, Zegres. That is absolutely beautiful. Oh my goodness me. That's one of the most wondrous beginnings to a Sudoku, that you can go from that blank grid to actually knowing these 3 cells and having restricted these 4 cells is it's wondrous. It really is wondrous. Now what do we do? I feel a lot more confident all of a sudden that I might be able to solve this, because that feels like it's enormously powerful. These are seeing each other via the medium of this cage. Yes, right, here is a deduction. Right, now we're cooking with gas. Because, in fact, do I need the colouring anymore? Do I need the colouring anymore? Perhaps not. I think what I might do here is abandon all... Well, I'm not abandoning colouring. I just want to change my colouring, because what I wanted to do was to show you that if I colour... Because these 1s and 3s are different because they're in the same cage, look what happens here. Now, so they're different colours. So this is now green and this is now yellow. But that means this square cannot be a 1 or a 3 because it sees both the different colours of 1 and 3 here. Well, these squares can't be 1 or 3 either because they're in the cage with a 1-3 pair. So that forces this little 3-cell cage to contain a 1 and a 3. And 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. There we go. Now, what does that mean? So, hang on a minute. Can we do maths on this box now? We've got 2 more odd digits to come into these 2 cells. we know that we know a 7-cell cage, because we looked at this down here, contains 4 odd digits. So those 3 squares there are all even. Even I normally do in blue, don't I? Okay, let's go back to parity colouring. So we'll use orange for odd, and we'll use blue for even. So these two are definitely odd. In fact, these are all odd. I should do everything, shouldn't I? Now, this square is odd because we need 5 odds in box 1. And 1. Oh, and 4. Yeah, of course, this is obvious. Oh, Simon, it's obvious. These are the other 3 even digits other than 4, so they must add up to 16, which means that the odd digits must add up to 16, and there are 4 of them, so they must be missing the 9, because we know all 5 of them add to 25. That is a 9, this is a 5-7 pair, and that is more beauty bestowed upon us by zegres. So that's 2, 6, and 8. Now what do we do? Don't have a clue is the answer. We could look at, maybe we've got quite a lot of odd digits. Do we have to have an odd digit in this domino? A 4-cell cage has 2 odd digits in it. Oh, so either there is an odd digit here, but only 1 odd digit, or this would be these would be 2 odd digits, and that would complete the odd digits for row 3 of the grid, which would force that to be a 4. In fact, there's a weird symmetry I'm just noticing. Sorry, I should have picked this up before. It's not... Yeah, there's symmetry down here in terms of the positions of the odds. And it's sort of a symmetry around this diagonal. Oh, right. It's better not to look at row 4. It's better to look at column 4. Because this cage here is only a 3-cell cage. That's a 4-cell cage. A 3-cell cage must have an even number of odd digits in it. So it's got 2 odd digits down here in these 3 cells. Well, look, we've got to be very careful about how we allocate these. We can't put them both here. That would put 6 odd digits in column 4, which is impossible. So that must be odd. There must be an odd digit in one of those 2 cells, so the rest of this column is even. This column is now done in terms of odd digits. So those are beautiful. These squares are all even. The only even option for that one is 4, so that becomes a 4. These both pick up the mantle of being oranges. Now look, yeah, here we go. Now we get a 5, 7 into this square, and the rest of this row is even. Which means, what does it mean? It means that, well, now this pair of digits can't be an odd domino. So there must be an odd in one of those 2 squares, because there are 2 odds altogether in here, so the rest of this row is also even. Now I've got 3 evens, and this is so clever. Now I've got 3 evens in both my 5-cell cages, and I know I've got to have an even number of odd digits, so those are all odd. Okay, so this is a domino. So that was set, yes, so we do know the parity of this. We can't put 2 odds here, so that must be odd. There's 2 odds in here and 1 even. Yes, so that becomes, I'm using purple to indicate an odd and an even in an order I don't know. And in fact, that is the same. But if I put a purple there, I won't know whether I'm doing a horizontal domino or a vertical domino, so I might have to not do that one. Okay, come on, let's keep this going. Let's see if we can do these squares here. Ah, that's a naked single, isn't it? No, it's not. Sorry, no, it's not. It's a 7 or a 9. For some reason, I was looking at the 8 and thinking it was odd, which is, I agree, completely ridiculous. There's a 7-9 pair here. Oh, okay, these are a 1-3 pair. These 1-3s are just operating via sudoku. Maybe it's sudoku we have to do now. Can we do some sudoku? 1 and 3. We've got to put, if we've got to put 2 odd digits in there. Yeah, ooh, in fact, this odd digit in here. Yes, got it. Right. Look at this domino. Because the odd digit in this domino is not a 1, 3, or 5. Well, it can't possibly be a 9, because there's only one even digit in this triomino. And a knowledge bomb from cracking the cryptic, 8 is not, well, 8 is definitely less than 9, and once I add the other odd digit to the 9, I will definitely have more than 8. So this must contain a 7, which means this is a 9, this is a 7, and we've still got to be careful here. It must be 7 and 1, so this is a 1, and this must be a 7-8 pair. There we go. But we don't know the order. But this 1 is doing some work for us. 3 goes in there. 1 goes in here. That communicates with its friend via the medium of this dogleg thing. So all of this gets done. Don't know about those two yet. Well, and now what do we do? This square here has got to be a 5 or a 7. This is, yes, that's a sort of symmetrical equivalent to this cell, isn't it? And where should we look for our next deduction? There's got to be a 9 in there, which is a little bit interesting. So we can't make this cell too high, or we won't be able to make the evens add up to enough. I'm not sure. It doesn't feel like it's incredibly restricted yet. So perhaps it's... Oh, I tell you what is interesting. Yes, I know what it is. It's this. I've got 3 even digits in here, and none of them is an 8. So that must be a 2, 4, 6 triple. And that means 2, 4, and 6 add up to 12. So this is, and there can't be 3, 9. Oh, this is lovely. Right, so this is a 5, 7 pair out of nowhere to make sure that the 5 and the 7 add up to the same as the 12 we've got from the even digits. Oh, that's actually a bit disappointing. I thought that was going to finish, at least give me something more. I think it's all it's done is given me a 5, 7 pair. So 8 has to be in one of those 3 cells by sudoku. Can we do any better than that? These squares have got to be 2s, 4s and 6s. What did we say about that one at the start? I said that that had to either be missing 7 and 2 or 4 and 9. But that doesn't seem to be quite good enough, does it? Can we work out what it's missing? Ah, 9. Yes, I can actually. I can. 9 up here is on the right hand side. It's in one of those cells, which means 9 is in one of these cells in box 8. Now that means those 3 cells are not 9, and these 3 cells are not 9. So there is no 9 in this cage. So it is also missing a 4. So that means there's a 4 in one of those 2 cells. That's another useless deduction. A useless deduction of nonsense, is it? Oh, or is it? Hang on a minute. Hang on. So if there's no 4 in those cells, the 4 in box 8 must be in one of those cells. that marries up with the 4 in box 5, and we ask the question where the 4 goes in this column. It must be in one of these 3. Well, in fact, in one of those 2 positions by Sudoku. So there is no 4 in those 2 positions, which means this square has suddenly become a 4. That is more absolutely brilliant logic. Zegres, this is just a stunning puzzle. Now that square now is not 2 or 6, but it's even, so it's 4 or 8. It's definitely not 9. 4 or 8. Now, can I do the same thing? Yeah, okay, so it's not maybe as useful, but the 4... Oh no, it is. It is. It's just shifted. So now where does the 4 go in this box? The answer is in one of those 3 cells, which means that the 4 is in one of these cells in box 4. And now look, these squares are all different even digits, but none of them can be 4. So this is 2, 6, and 8. So the one that's 8 is this one. This is a 2 or a 6. 2, 6, and 8. Oh, I thought I made a mistake, but they add up to 16, and I can do 16 with a 7-9 pair, thank goodness. So there is a 7 over here, and that's not an 8 by Sudoku, and where does 8 go in this column? It can only go there. That's rather gorgeous because that finishes off my 8 and 7 here and allows me to recolour them both. Nice. So, oh, this digit's a naked single. It's a 4. Whoops. So those are not 4s. There's now definitely a 4 in this little cage, which is probably important. Although maybe it's not. I mean, the other even digit, therefore, is going to be 2 or 6. Now, if it's 2, it breaks, because you can't put 1, 5 in the cage with it to add up to the 6 you need. So this is actually 4, 6, and then 2 odd digits that add up to 10, which don't include 1, 9. So this is 3, 7. Those are not 3. Those are not 7. And of course the 7 being in here means that this becomes a 5, that becomes a 7, that becomes a 5, that becomes a 7. 7 and 5 go into those squares. 5 in this box is in one of 2 places because of this 5 at the base of the grid. This is a 2 or a 6 now, so it's not a 4. 4 is locked into this domino, and 8 is locked into one of those cells, and I think that's okay, isn't it? It was a 9 and a 4 I've got to make sure I don't get in the end in that 7-cell cage. These 2 squares are now a 9 and something, a 9 and a 2. I don't believe it. Nothing's quite resolved still. That's not a 9 anymore. So we've got a 9 in here, and this square is either therefore 3 or 5. So if this was 9, 5, we'd have to put 6, 8 in. That would have to be 8. This would have to be a 6, 9 pair. If it's 9, 3, then we'd need 12 from the evens, which is going to have to be 4, 8. So you always get an 8 here. Oh, and in fact, that doesn't work. Right, here we go. Yes, in fact, probably what I should do to do this a bit more clearly is to label up those squares. They are 2, 6, and 9, but we know that the 9 is in here. Yes, this is clear now. If you go 9, 3, there's no way of using either 6 or 2 to make the total. 6 would require a second 6, 2 would require a 10. So there we go. That must be a 5. This must be 9, 5, 14. This means we need 6 and 8, and that means we can do it exactly like that. We get this digit, That's no longer an 8 anymore. That square's therefore a 2. And that means something. I don't know what yet, but I'm sure it's very, very clear. Oh, yeah, I know what it means. This cage has suddenly become interesting to me. Because that needs to have 2 odd digits in it, but we've not used 9 in the box yet. You can't put 9 in this cage because it's going to be 2 odd digits plus 1 even digit. So an even digit can't even be 8. So there's no 9 in that cage. So there's a 9 in this domino, and this cage has got the other 2 odd digits in it. So that's a 1, 3, 4 cage. This is a 3. This is one of my favourite puzzles that we've done recently on the channel. It's so good. Because it's just new, interesting logic done brilliantly, and it's not absolutely monstrously hard. It's not easy, mind you, but it sort of feels the right level of difficulty. That we don't know about the resolution of that. And that's if I now grind to a halt and I can't finish it, I'm going to feel like a prize Charlie. 5. Where does 5 go in this box? It's got to go here. 5 is odd. 8 has to be up there. Oh, didn't we say something about the disposition of odds and even digits over here? I can't remember what we said. I'm sure we said something very, very, very pertinent, but I don't remember what it was. That square can't be a 7. 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 4, 5 over here. 5. There's got to be a 5 in this row. It's got to go there. So that's odd. 4s are aligning now in these cells in box 3 and box 6. So 4 in this column is in this quadruple, and oh no, we've already done the 4 there. So 8 and 4 are separated. Does that mean we know something useful about we know that there's 2 even digits in each of these 4 cell regions. So this is either now 8 and 2, or it's 8 and... Oh, it's not 8 and 6. Oh, that's lovely. Right, okay. Here we go. This is not 8 and 6, because 8 and 6 are 14, and the only way of making 2 odd digits add to 14 is 5 and 9, and the 5 is here in the cage. So this is 8 and 2. And the 2 is over there. So there's a 2 here. A 2 here by Sudoku. Here we go. We're off again. 6 and 2. Yes, 6 and 2. 6 and 2. That's not 2, therefore. Oh, this must be almost done. 6, 8, or 9. That's a 6 or a 9 into that square. It's definitely not a 5. Oh, I can't see how to do it. 1, 3, and 6 down here. What were the digits we were missing from this? 4 and 9, wasn't it? So we can't use that anymore. Okay, so this, on the other hand, if that's 2 and 8, this is 4 and 6. We don't know very much about 6s. That's a bit... I suppose the 6 has got to be in one of these 3 cells. Oh, is that a 6-9 pair at the top? So when I said we don't know anything about 6, we actually do. Yeah, this box has got a 6-9 pair in it, and that 6 is flowing down the grid there, forcing that to be a 6. 6 is even. 6 gets ruled out of these squares. These... oh, I see. We've still got to work out how we make the 10s work, therefore. So we're going to have 1, 9 and 3, 7. Oh, and we've got a 9 here. Right, beautiful. So the 9 in this box has to go in the bottom region, the bottom tetromino. So this is 4, 6, 1, 9, and the 1 is here. I've done it. 1, 4, 9, like that. That becomes odd. That's even. That's 7. by sudoku, that's 3 by sudoku. So this has become a 4-6 pair, both of which are even. That's the final even. These have to both be odd. These are both odd. That's therefore not 6. This has got, oh, it is 3. We need a 9 in the row. That's got to go there. I feel like, well, hang on. What's this digit now? That's a 2. That 3 is seeing the 3 and the 1. So this is a 1-6 pair, which we can resolve. So 6 and 1 go in. That one's the odd one. These two are the even ones. 7 is doing the 7 and the 9 in this column. That's doing the 9 and the 2. These now get their own colour as a reward for being useful. 6 and 9, 9 and 8 go in over here. We can do some more colouring. Those both become evens. That one loses its purple. This one loses its purple to become odd. Odd. 8 here. 2 in the corner. 4 and 6 must be done. Oh, we're not getting a deadly pattern here, are we? Please don't get a deadly pattern. 5s, yeah, this is a 5 and that's a 4. That doesn't, I don't think that is a deadly pattern. I think it's working. That's a 4 now. That's a 6, and there. So the first 6 columns are all done. Now this is a 3-8 pair. We can do it. Maybe I'll try and finish the grid and then we'll do the colouring at the end just to finish this off, because I think we're all but there. This is a 7-8 pair, which is not resolved. So this is a 1-7 pair, and that's not resolved. Oh no, I made a mistake. 3-4 pair. No, the 3-4 pair is doing everything, is it? Yes, this 3. 3, 4, 4, 1, 1, 7, 7, 7, 8. Colour them all in. Odds, evens, odd, even. Yes. Wow. Wow. Zegres. That was absolutely magnificent. What a puzzle. I mean, the first digit was not easy. Well, at least not for me. But it was such a clever idea. Just a simple, clever idea. But the second digit, I don't know what the second digit was. It was either this one or this one. I think these were sort of concurrent. Using Ard's set trick was just breathtaking. My goodness. And then it was after that, it wasn't difficult. It was just lovely. It was a series of lovely deductions. I thought it was immediately beautiful how these 1-3s, you could colour them and force the 1 and the 3 into this triomino here, and immediately it's a 1-3-4 triple. And then the bit I was then slow at was working these were even digits, and I could have known the sum immediately, so I could have got this 9 instantly and failed. But, you know, it wasn't perhaps a terrible solve. I don't know. You let me know. I hope you enjoyed the puzzle. I certainly did. It was magnificent. And I hope you enjoyed the little quiz at the start as well. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.